good to be for me, but then it's okay. You can put me in an uncomfortable position, so that I can be a little bit more. So good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's alright then.
Yeah.
Right, ready when you are. I don't know what I'm doing here. So yeah, I have to apologize for whatever I am going to do and what I'm not going to do. So yeah.
Why is it, right, that you lead women on?
I think the issue is the guy is not really that interested to start with.
You tell someone, I want a relationship. You're doing the most for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And then one day, it's just like, there's a switch.
My expectation is we're going into a relationship, and this relationship is supposed to lead somewhere. So if you're saying I'm expecting. Right, so we were talking about women and how desperate sometimes we can get. But what you fail to understand is, I'll give you an example. I'm single. And if I ask you how old I am, how old do you think I am?
Irrelevant.
No, but how old do you think I am?
Irrelevant.
I couldn't tell you, like...
Irrelevant.
But it doesn't matter anyway.
If you want to give her to guess how old you think I am.
Irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
No. I have. My statement goes with that, with what I'm about
it's all right.
to say.
Yeah,
But
let me answer.
Yeah, give it just a random guess. What would you think?
36, 7?
Exactly. I'm 44, turning 45.
So pretty good.
I'm desperate. I need someone.
Right.
Not just for me, but I've come to the realization that when my kids grow up and they fly the nest, I'm gonna be by myself. I want a companion. So I'm at that point where I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna settle for shit. If he's there and he's available and he's single, I'm taking that crap. Because I'm going to try and mold that trap, because I'm at that point where I'm thinking I'm 45 turning 40 or 44 turning 45. I don't want to be alone. I need someone. So it's that desperation sometimes that drives you to go to the same type of crap, because you keep thinking, I'm going to change that person. I'm going to just settle. I'm going to be content. Let him give me the crap. I'd rather live with that crap than live alone.
Okay.
Talking behind people's backs.
What struck me about Sonia is, it's kind of sad actually, when she said that at the age that she is now, she would rather be in a relationship and lonely than be by herself and lonely. And I think it's a bit, I want to say sad, because it comes off as if you're a little bit desperate just to have someone, because actually being in a relationship and lonely is the loneliest thing that you can ever do. So I think that mindset that she has, she should just shift from that mindset.
So this is where we are as women. Sometimes it's not about the fact that you've got the options, and even when you do have the options are limited. Because I'm going for people who are older than me.
My question is this, right? And we're talking about the mold, right?
Yeah.
So where do you get this notion, this thing that you need somebody?
Because I'm at that point where I don't want to be alone.
Right.
I do not want to be alone. I want to be with someone. I want to be. I don't want to have to ring my kids and say, "Oh, come on." I've seen the British culture where it's unfortunate.
It's lonely.
It's lonely.
Very
and I don't
lonely.
want that.
But then again, right? When I kept saying that age is irrelevant, you can be with someone and still be lonely.
Yes.
I'd rather be with someone and be lonely than be alone.
And
I think post-COVID that also contributes as well.
So part of it is we then need to, when I say we, I mean you and me, need to resolve the scars that you have. We need to resolve what you need, because clearly, if you are willing to settle for shit, right, Flint, you know what I want to say. If you're willing to settle for shit, you're shit yourself, because birds of the same feathers. I don't know how it ends.
Okay.
So my darling, you're far much better than that.
Okay.
I would rather you go out and spend 2 months with someone that you know what We had a good stint. It's over. Done. If we are going to settle for someone that is going to keep on hurting you, then the next thing is suicide alternatives. Why?
Your mental health.
No.
And you mentioned something which is very important, right?
Yeah.
You said part of why you feel you need to be with somebody is to provide structures for your children, right?
Not for my children, for myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But do you know there's nothing more dangerous for your children as a toxic relationship,
Thank you.
or you actually being in a relationship where you're not happy, where you're not fulfilled, because those kids now, they're probably going to get more damaged by you being
This is what. No.
right?
I think I understand
explain-
what Sonia
I
is trying to
didn't
say.
explain myself. I'm
I
saying
understand
when
what
the
you're
kids are gone
Right.
and I'm by myself, I'm in this big
Sonia.
massive house, I'm by myself. I need that companion. I need that person to give me the crap. Because when you get to my age, your options are limited.
they
You
are.
get the 45s and over who have not made it in life enough for them to be able to settle with someone. So now it's like we are two rejects, and we're sitting there looking at each other like you're a reject, I'm a reject. Let's
Okay,
just
I
become-
understand what you're saying.
Sorry, can I just cut you?
Go for it.
Right. I am single by choice at the age that I am right now. Right. And one of the things that I refuse is to let my parents, my family dictate in terms of saying, well, you are going to be lonely. Yes, potentially I will be lonely. Right. The point is you do not need somebody else to make you happy. And this comes back to a question that I was going to ask you. We'll come back. Was what are the things that make you happy? What do you want in life? Number one. What is the thing that you want in life? If you're saying
Alcohol
money and sex.
I
Tell me what.
think
Tell me what. I can
know their
get. I can-
self-worth. I mean, you're not going to base your happiness on somebody else.
Absolutely.
I think you should be grown enough to know that, I love myself. I don't rely on somebody else to make me happy. But I just want to be with someone. Like, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
I don't need
that person.
a man.
Right.
I just want a man. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like she's saying, imagine being in a house by yourself. You want to laugh with someone. You need that companionship. I still stand by what I say. In as much as we want to be with somebody, you shouldn't settle just to be with someone.
I'll try and maybe expand on what Sonia was saying for a little bit of understanding. Like myself, I'm a single mom. My son is 13. He's growing faster than I would have imagined. And, he has the option of seeing his grandma. He goes to my sister's house. So I have those moments where he's not in the house and I'm off.
And the silence is loud.
And the silence is so loud.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking to myself, in the next 5, 6, 7 years, I'm happy. I do my thing. I mean, no regrets. But then I look back and I'm thinking, I'm lonely. You understand? And I don't want to feel like this when I get to a certain age. I can't constantly just be
like
lonely.
this.
And that doesn't mean that I'm desperate.
No,
I'm not
you're
going
not
to tolerate
desperate, no.
nobody's shit, right? Anybody that's been in my life knows that Timali is one of those people. She doesn't take shit. So if I fuck up, I fuck up. That's it.
That's it.
But you get to a point where you're thinking, damn, and your phone doesn't ring.
Exactly.
It's all you see is just it's just notifications from Instagram or Facebook
you see
that somebody liked your picture, and you're just like, whoa. And then the silence.
It's very loud.
So,
You've gone through
That's
that.
where I say also.
And then I can imagine, like what you're saying, like now you're 44 going to 45. I always say to myself, please, Lord, I don't want to be in my 40s or, headed for 50 and feeling the way I'm feeling today at the age of 38. I don't want to feel that silence. It's
That's why
absolutely
now, wherever
very
you're
haunting.
dating, you're
It's very
dating with the
haunting.
intention of something bigger. You're dating with the intention of possibly marriage. That's why I said men don't know what they want, because you say we want someone who is honest. We want women that are honest. If you come across a woman that's honest, it's like you don't take that well. So when you go on dates, obviously you're going to have that conversation. So what are you looking for? What do you want? I'm going to tell you, look, I'm dating with the intention of
Long term.
long term.
Yes.
And then I don't know where the men just
say the same thing
Back
just for fashion
No,
or what
it's
it is,
not.
and then
They're thinking that this will
And they'll be like, yeah, me too, me too,
yeah,
me too, me
because,
too.
you know, I'm 46
Yeah,
now, and you're
exactly.
thinking, oh, okay, so this relationship is actually going somewhere.
Somewhere,
Hence,
yeah.
me now thinking, okay, we could actually do this, and then 2 months down the line,
Can I,
Radio
But the thing
silence.
is, it's like, well, no, sorry, before you, let me just say, it's like what you're saying. Oh yeah, I want the same thing. And then you just one step out of line. I'm telling you, a guy dumped me because I smoked shisha. Shisha. Like, there's more to me. You could gain, you could learn so much. I'm a thinker. Okay. I'm not a doer, I'm a thinker. You come to me and we talk for 2 minutes. I'll sit there and I'll say, right, this is what you need to do, Flint. You see that business proposal, okay, I'll draft this and that. And my friends and my family know that. They need some shit doing, they come to me.
I'm on
you know,
it.
I've got this and I've got this and I've got this. Okay, right, sit down, yeah, let's this. Okay, go on to that, do this, bam, 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 bam. It's done
done.
it. Yeah, that's who I am. So you're losing now on me. And
All
those
of
who
that.
who have tapped into that have touched millions and touched thousands that they've never really ever thought or expected they'd ever touch. Like my ex used to net 50 grand a week. The guy used to make Africa the off license. He would just be like, I'm off to Africa. Oh, okay, yeah, right. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Because
So,
I used to
can I
help
be your
him
ex?
make that. You see, I used to help him make that. But it's about the fact that I think for you. I'm there. But I've got so much to offer you. But the fact that you're gonna dump
you
me over
saw me
shisha.
smoking shisha.
Shisha.
And then
Shisha,
that's
like, seriously, like, oh, but you smoke. Yeah, I love to smoke shisha. So you want to dump me
You know
over
what?
that?
To be
let
fair,
me
I
finish.
think that was just an excuse, right?
Let's be clear.
Or it could be-
It wasn't an excuse. So if it is in my case, it wasn't an excuse, right? There are certain things that you as a woman, you will say this is a non-negotiable.
An absolute no.
It's a non-negotiable. Right? So if you're not then able to comprehend the fact that somebody saying that is a non-negotiable, if he dumped you over that, then let him go. But what then the question should have been is, okay, yes, I do smoke. If that's a problem, what can we do to remedy the situation? And then rewind on a thought that I had before, which was, if I was to ask a question to say, out of the people that you know, and this is a problem with black, and I'm going to say black people, is we do not educate ourselves enough. We have got the knowledge, but we don't educate ourselves enough. We don't educate, and this is a problem with men. We are not educating our kids on how to treat women. We objectify women, and guess what? I still do it. There are things that I have done when I was a 10-year-old, because growing up, that's how
You didn't get that knowledge.
I got some knowledge, but it was bad. It was knowledge actually. It was bad information, because that is how women have always been portrayed. But what makes it even worse is the fact that some women are willing to accept that. That's why I keep saying, when we're talking about the age, I keep saying, when I keep saying it's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant.
Part of this is you have got to be patient with yourself. If it doesn't happen, girl, it doesn't happen. Right? Do not force things where it doesn't happen. Listen, you can keep forcing, you can keep making the same mistakes, but what are you learning from that? What are you taking home? Because, and you get just having, and I can't wrap my head around this about people saying I would rather be with someone when they're in a toxic relationship. What then you're doing is you're not only setting a precedent, possibly your mothers went through the same shit, and you are accepting, saying, no, it's okay. No, it's not.
We actually had this conversation. We had this conversation to say, I mean, to be honest, maybe if I actually was just desperate I would have been married a long time ago, right? What our parents tolerated, our mothers accepted, I cannot accept that
No.
shit. Henceforth, of which I am single.
Yeah, but then again, right?
Huh?
I've got to give you credit in the sense that
But,
we don't give women their dues in, especially single parents, because they sacrifice so
much.
so that they can then kind of raise their kids. But my question then to you as a mother is, are you then having that conversation with your child as it currently stands?
Absolutely.
Yes.
But,
All the time.
But part of this is there is having conversations, and there is sin to be doing. Monkey see, monkey do.
I will tell you, let me give you an example. I've got 4 kids, 3 boys and a girl. The girl's the last one. My policy is I treat you all the same. There's no, oh, this is a boy. So when you're in my house, even if it's your sister's knickers, I expect you to pick them up. If they're dirty, if they're going into the wash, if they're wet, they need to go onto the dry, or whatever the case may be. The thing is, we objectify things. Like my ex used to say, oh, you know how it is in the UK, it's called radiators, our dryers. So you put, your bra, your knickers there. Oh, boys shouldn't see your knickers. No, why shouldn't they see my knickers? They're knickers, everybody wears knickers. So I teach my children to say, it's a bra. A woman wears a bra because they have breasts. It's a pant. A woman, it's an underwear. A boy wears underwear. So you teach your kids to normalize certain things that our parents used to think. When we were growing up, you'd put a pant on the line and then you'd put a towel, you have to cover it. No, let him see my thong. Let him know that it's then when he sees the thong, it's not going to be, oh, it's a thong. And then he's like, no, he's going to objectify a woman. He has to normalize, and I'm doing that.
I disagree with Sonia a little bit when she spoke about the underwear thing. Like, I live with my son, and I'm never gonna let him see my underwear. I think there should be like boundaries, There should be boundaries. Like the African woman within me would not let my son see my underwear, or pick it up, or, unless maybe he's just got the wash and he's put it in my room or what. I'm not doing that underwear thing. It's a whole other level.
There's certain aspects of our culture that we should keep. For example, when Sonia said the statement about knickers, I think things like that we need to keep, because I wouldn't want my knickers around the house, whether I've got a son or a daughter. I still want to keep that certain bit of privacy.
I don't know. I think what we have to recognize here is she's doing the best that she can with the kids.
So I was a little confused actually with the view. Like, Sonia, what's happening? I don't know, man.
Clint, come on. Dude, I thought you were my side, man. Like, we were sat next to you. I thought we were gelling. Like, really? Seriously? Come on, dude. Please, I beg. Next time, just give me a nudge if you think I'm contradicting myself. Or just be brutal. Just be honest with me. Just tell me, say I'm contradicting myself. Come on. Really? In Africa, they see your breast, they see your ass. She's a prostitute. I can tap her ass. I can touch her breast. But when you teach them to say, okay, my children can see me wearing sexy clothing and they can tell me to say, Mom, you look good. And they respect me for that.
Can I just say
that
something
teaches them.
That's very interesting. Is growing up in Africa, I used to see women breastfeeding all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Not a problem. Right? Fast forward, came in the UK, watched a lot of porn. It changed my landscape and my thinking. What is happening with a lot of people is what they are learning is they are not learning. They are picking this up from television. What we are refusing to do is to have conversations as a family. We are having 2 minutes, a piecemeal conversation, and then we learn. If people are spending, I think I was looking at my iPhone last week, I spent 4 hours 17 minutes in one day on my phone. So that is where we are picking up the knowledge, right? So part of this is, I think, our mental DNA. I don't know what is DNA as such, but the way we think is regulated in some way, shape, or form. And until we start to realize and recognize the importance of the community that we are in, having these conversations, And when we say, what you said, oh yeah, you have conversation with your kid. Probably you're having 10 minutes with the kid because you have got to go and do what you need to do. You got to go to work. You got to go do things. So for me, it's not just about having the conversation. It's being able to demonstrate that this is how things are done.
This is
And-
how it's done.
Okay.
Do you know what, guys?
Then there is-
I have a problem, right?
Sorry, and there is, sorry, let me just
Yeah.
finish. And I think we'll come back to a very interesting point, which possibly you would come to, which is we have got a shortage of role models. Our role models are broken. Then, if what we are looking towards, what we aspire to be, are the people then they would have done a good job based on whatever they did that they had. So if then there is and I need to do just a stock take here. Why are you single? If I may just ask a question. Sorry, Finta, I'll come back to you.
I don't know.
Ngoni was the resident therapist. I mean, he was asking questions, and you're thinking, where is this going? And then it all comes together again. And then he's looking at you, like asking you questions, and you're thinking, wait a minute, do I really need to go for a therapist? So, I mean, he was fun anyways. It was good.
Fascinating. A lot of fractured personalities, a lot of different things to take. Oh yeah, it was quite interesting.
Who was the most structured?
No, I'll not put names, but yeah, I think there's a lot behind the curtain. I think my black sisters are not exploring their emotions. They're not allowed to talk about them, and they are not having conversations with their male counterparts. I think that is a problem.
It's true. Yeah, we've no idea.
No idea.
I know why I'm
It's
single.
not by choice.
No.
It's
not
not by choice, but okay. If I bring what I've been told about me, why I'm single, I'm not wife material. I'm vocal. I'm stubborn.
I'm liking you more because you are.
But this is what I've been told about myself.
Do you know why I'm saying I'm liking you more? Because what that tells me is you have had a moment of self-reflection. You have had these conversations. So if you have not had conversations with the people that you have either dumped or let go, there is a problem. Coming back to my
But then
role-
that's
coming-
why I
coming-
say
coming back
now,
to my
for
role-
men, you don't want to have these conversations because if I'm to look back to my exes, I can't have conversations with them because
Right. I will stop you there. The reason why I brought role models and the people that you've done. I have got aunties. We talk about some of these things. I have got go to people that are women. Most of my friends are women.
okay.
We talk about this. And they say, yeah, God, you aired on there, you fucked up. Until then, if you're then not having those conversations with people that potentially will say, now, you know what, I would marry. And I've said this to my sisters, probably will crucify me for this. I would not marry my sisters if it was.
But what if it's like you are not the one who's fucking up, it's them.
Exactly.
Like what she was saying,
Yeah.
that you date this one, you think that they're different,
But
they ghost.
my question
Or
to
you
you-
date this one, you think they're different,
But-
he's married.
but my
You
question
date
is-
this one, and then it's chipping away at you.
but
You
my-
do have moments, hold on,
Yeah, no,
where you
sorry,
sit down and you
I have
think.
I have to stop you there, right? My question is, as a male role model, who do you have as a male role model? It's a touchy subject. That is a touchy subject.
None, zero, nobody.
When it opened up factors that I never realized, I never thought of. When you talked about having a role model who's male, it never clicked on me. But when he said it, I thought, he's right. He's actually correct.
I think collectively the failure to name a positive role model, that worries me. Why are we saying we don't have? I'm a role model. I'm not saying I'm the perfect role model, but I'm a role model. So the question is, if then you're not saying your neighbor is a role model, then what does that actually tell? What does that actually say about us as a people? And then,
Which is sad.
and therein lies the problem. That's why I brought these two together, because they are interlinked. If you have got someone that you see as a male role model, you have got a standard of what to aspire to. And potentially, if that person is a role model, you should then be able to have those conversations.
Ngoni, you're very intellectually, spiritually
I know.
endowed.
It's like
Because you
Twisting
still
up.
because you know what? Because now I'm like I'm trying to you know what? Because he starts from the side. No, watch. No, look, because he starts from the left, right? And then he stops. Then he starts from the right.
Nah,
and then he fuses.
the wine.
And the body.
wine. Yes.
The body is like Professor.
So you
Ngoni is amazing, right? He's such a passionate dude, right? Such passionate. But I love him. I love him to bits because he made a lot of valid points, to be fair. You know, he's good at that. And the way he converses, I love it. You know, he brings the point gently in and he takes you on a journey. I love Ngoni. He's a good dude.
I've reflected on myself. Saying, but I don't have a single male model. I don't.
I don't.
literally no.
I don't.
No.
And it's a problem. And are you a father, sir?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
But anyways.
Yeah, exactly. No, but what I simply wanted to say, right, and this is a topic that I've discussed with a lot of people. This sense that our culture is regressive or it's dated or it's ancient, I think is problematic because we can still be progressive but keep things that
Certain elements.
that make us who
Who
we
we
are.
are.
Certain
right?
elements, yeah.
Because I look at certain cultures,
Yes.
for example, the Chinese, the Sikh, I've got a lot of Sikh friends, certain people, even though they have progressed in many aspects of their societies,
still keep-
what keeps them being themselves at the core, they maintain those things. And I think as a people, the more we gravitate away from that center, we invite a lot of problems, right? Because Ngoni mentioned something which is very important, that we live in communities. We're not isolated, right? What your community thinks, what your family thinks, what your friends think is going to be important to you. And they see you through a particular lens, right? And very often it's a cultural lens. It's a religious lens. It's an educational lens, right? We can't run away from these things. So you mentioned something about you put lingerie on the line and you cover it, right? There is a reason why, for example, we do that. I don't think it's a regressive thing. I just think that's who we are, right?
Out of respect.
Yeah, and I think those things we need to see their value, right? And that's not to say that people who do it differently are wrong or they're right. This is just who we are. Because fundamentally, if we gravitate away from the center, we have problems. I'll tell you this, right? And
But Flip,
wait.
We don't have a
let-
center.
let-
We don't. No, we don't have a center. We actually don't have a center.
Wait. For example, for me, the first time I objectified a woman, I literally can see it like yesterday. I remember Chiremba Road, back in my country, Zim, right? We were playing just outside the gate.
Yeah.
And pedal pushers came. Right? For the first time, I saw a woman from over there, and I saw more than I should have seen.
But, you know,
And I was like, huh? It was like, it completely changed the way I look at the woman, right? And as fashion penetrated and our whole sense of being a people changed, so did the tendencies and the mentalities and the way people think, right? So I think we are victims of the society that we're living in.
yeah, but
Right. In many respects, what women perhaps are looking for in a man is very difficult to find because of the environment that we find ourselves in. Where fashion, music, pornography,
BBLs.
it's infiltrated every aspect of our life.
Flint.
You know, we have women
I
who romanticize. Wait, watching programs
Flint
like
finish his point
programs
first.
like Real Housewives and all of this and
Oh, yeah.
right? They have an idea of what a relationship should
supposed
be,
to
what
be.
a marriage should be. And on the other side, men are seeing women even more in a sexual way, in a
Now.
disposable way, right? Because of the world that we're living in. So it becomes very difficult to have the man in the way that perhaps you want to have the man. And I'll say this, when you get to a particular age, and I'm sorry to say this, good men are either taken,
Gay.
they're just not there, right?
Yeah.
And the ones that are very, very good who purport to be single are probably not single, right? And the ones that appear to be good and are single are probably extremely broken.
Damaged.
Preach it.
I'm just going to leave it there for now.
Thank you for that. And
I
all
think
those people that you've mentioned in that list, I have dated. All those people in that list, some of them are just broken, absolutely
broken.
so damaged
You
that
can't
there is
even
no
replace- you can't
spirit.
repair
That's where I was coming back to say, in as much as you want to sit down and say, okay, what did I do? Because in every breakup, you sit down and think,
And you
okay, fine.
reflect.
But
you reflect.
There's situations where you can't because it's like, it was them. It wasn't you, it was them. So
But
if you
you make it
ask
like
me
it
now,
was you.
yeah, if you ask me now, why are you? I don't know, because my CV, it's been them. You understand? So there hasn't been a time where I'm in the wrong, where I can sit and think and say, oh, okay, you know what? Here I fucked up. I need to change this about myself.
But I'll tell you what I did was I
Also,
always
in terms of role models, I think initially growing up as Africans, the first in terms of relationships, the first role models we should all have is our parents.
yeah.
But I never saw my mommy and my dad holding hands.
No.
I never saw them go on dates.
Nope.
I never saw something where I can be like, oh, okay, this is what I want.
It's funny because even on our parents, when was it my dad turning 40? He had a surprise party, right? And my mom threw a surprise party. I remember this and we're all there. Surprise! My dad came in and there were people there. And then my parents kissed.
We were like,
Oh my God! We're like, oh my God! It was so taboo and so frightening and so cringe and everything. I had all these emotions, like
so many questions.
Like my parents
Yes.
Like wow.
and it wasn't even like a tongue or anything.
No,
it was just
just
a
a
peck to say thank you for the surprise party. My dad just kissed my mom to say thank you, but we were shook for days.
So now, even as a little boy or a little girl, you grow up just kind of riding the waves because you don't have that thing where, you know what, my dad treated my mom like this, so I should be treating women like this. Instead, we saw them being abusive. They were this, they were ignorant. You know what I mean? So you kind of go through life just riding the wave. So in terms of role models, I can't say that I have one in terms of relationships because I've never seen it.
Okay.
And our 80s parents, for them, I don't know what it is, but they grew up, like, I'll give you my mom and dad. I was born in the UK. They came here for education. Do you think they'll take back that education back home? And they did. But my dad, being the man of the house, my mom focused, right? We're back in Africa. This is what we're looking to do. This is what the fame that came with coming from abroad followed him. And with the fame came the women.
Of course.
And with the women came the unfocused man. And he lost himself.
Yes.
Within that environment, such that from being the loving dad that I grew up knowing,
It
changed.
Right.
And he became unfocused. It was the women.
Right.
The women came. My mom said, "You know what? Enough is enough."
And
I
then you
can't do
see that your mom or your aunt or whatever is going through a lot. And you know that her community is telling. Because I've been through that where I was engaged in Africa and he was an alcoholic. But I'd go because I didn't have my relatives there. So his relatives are the only people that I could go to. They would tell me, no, you know what? It's okay. Just stay.
Stick with it.
That's marriage.
That's meant for
Exactly,
you.
yeah.
If he comes drunk, if he comes home drunk at 3 a.m.,
Cook for
just
him.
make him something.
Exactly,
And I used to
yeah.
think, so I should wake up from my slumber.
Taonga. I think, was there anything interesting that she said? Off camera, yes, but On camera, I think generally we kind of share the same perspective because we've grown in the same household. We've been together since we were kids. So anything that I've gone through and everything that she went through, I kind of know. So even when she spoke about her alcoholic ex and stuff like that, it's like I was with there within the journey, so I can't really, But she brought some valid points, and she was honest, so I like that.
Will you be coming back?
No. But I'll bring some very, very good people with me. Actually, tell you what, I'll bring a therapist next time because I don't know nothing about that. But yeah, I'll bring a therapist.